And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Olive, Nina, and Esme. Olive, Nina, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes," said Olive, Nina, and Esme. One day, the king of Onlyville's messenger said, hear ye, the king of Onlyville is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Singling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Olive said, he's going to marry me. Nina said, no way, Olive. He's going to marry me. Esme said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Singling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what is wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I wanted her to go to the ball and marry Prince Singling, but I'm not welcome. The fairy godmother waved her wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! And then, Cinderella's chores are all done. But the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has one pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! Again, and to turn Cinderella's do-rag and clothes into a gown. I've never seen such a wonderful gown. I get a load of my glass slippers, and then the pumpkin into a carriage drawn by 2 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Singling was wondering who he should marry. Olive, Nina, and Esme said all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Singling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Singling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Onlyville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where her Cinderella and her stepsisters lived. He said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try this glass slipper? Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. Esme is last, but her foot didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Singling noticed Cinderella singing. Cinderella said. Prince Singling, is that you? Prince Singling said, of course it's me. Cinderella gets so excited because she's having to have her Prince Singling back. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story before bed enters doors. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to my video. Take care. Bye and good night, everybody. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. What? Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 4 ugly, mean stepsisters named Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona. Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors. Wash the dishes. Do it all. Said Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona all together. One day, the king and Quadrillion Hand's messengers said, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Quadrillion Hand is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Forting. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Fiona. Ophelia said, No way, Fiona! He's going to marry me. Ursula said, Both of you are wrong! He's going to marry me. Ramona said, All 3 of you are wrong! He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad because she can't go to the ball and marry Prince 14, while her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, Cinderella? Cinderella responds, I got lots of chores to be done. I can't go to the ball and marry Prince 14. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. Cinderella's fairy godmother chants the magic words. Quiddity, quaddity, quaddity, quoo! And waves her magic wand. Because of that, all of Cinderella's chores are all done. But Cinderella's fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has 4 pumpkins. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, and then chants the magic words. Quiddity, quaddity, quaddity, quoo, and waves her magic wand to turn the 4 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 8 strong horses. And then, Cinderella's clothes into a gathered crowd. Cinderella said, I've never seen such a quadtastic gown. And get a lot of my glass slippers, her fairy godmother said. Have fun, mighty Cinderella. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will turn back to the way it was before. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Fortune was wondering who he should marry. Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona said all together, He's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince 14 dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realizes it's midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince 14 was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled all around Quadrilingia to find her, and brought the 2 tiny glass slippers with him. He knocked on the door of the home where Cinderella and her stepsisters live, but instead of Cinderella, he finds Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona. He then said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can anyone try on these glass slippers? Fiona is first, but her feet are too big." Ophelia said, "But her feet are too small." Ursula and Ramona did the same thing, but their feet don't fit either. Suddenly, Prince 14 notices Cinderella's sweet singing. "The glass slippers fit!" Cinderella gets so excited because she's happy to have her Prince 14 back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And if you want to see some sequels, tell your friends about it. And then, take care, Andrew's Doers. Bye. And now, Andrew's Doers. Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier. Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier all together. Then one day, the king of Sextuple-Hand's messenger said, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Sextuple-Hand is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Sextuple." But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Sophia said, "He's going to marry me." Isabella said, "No way, Sophia, you're wrong. He's going to marry me." Xavier said, "Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me." Later, Cinderella is so sad, doing chores while her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, Cinderella?" Cinderella responds, "I have lots of chores to be done, but I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Sextuple." Her fairy godmother said, "I can help with a bit of magic." Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand. Because of the 6 other chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, "Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin." Luckily, Cinderella has 6 pumpkins. Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 6 pumpkins into a handsome coach. And then drawn by 12 strong horses, and then Cinderella's clothes into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, "I've never seen such a sextuple-tastic gown, and get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough?" Her fairy godmother said, "Well, you can't. But have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before." Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Sixtumbling was wondering who he should marry. Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier all together, "He's walking towards me!" But he's not walking towards any of them. Prince Sixtumbling is walking towards Cinderella. "May I have this dance?" As Prince Sixtumbling, Cinderella responds, "I would be delighted." Prince Sixtumbling and Cinderella dance happily together, but later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost both of her glass slippers. Prince Sixtumbling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. He then traveled around Sixtumbling Hand to find her, and brought the 2 glass slippers with him. By the time he arrives, he knocked on the door of the house where Cinderella, Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier lived. But instead of Cinderella, he finds Sophia, Isabella, and Xavier. Prince Sixtumbling said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can you try on these glass slippers? Sophia is first, but her feet are too big. Isabella is next, but her feet are too small. Xavier was last, but her feet didn't fit either." Suddenly, Prince Sixtumbling notices Cinderella's sweet singing. Cinderella then gets so excited because she's having her Prince Sixtumbling back. And Prince Sixtumbling doesn't have to put the 2 glass slippers back on her feet because they're so uncomfortable. And then Prince Sixtumbling and Cinderella lived happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Drew, if you want to see some sequels, tell your friends about it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share and buy our merchandise. Oh, look at that! And if we time it just right, it's 6 minutes and 6 seconds.